Moving along.
Please stay by the law.
He said you guys, we had to do it for
You on the station or not? What time is it serving? 10?
Hey, Bill.
I'm gonna head over. Alright, 9:30. I'm gonna wait outside, 9:30, I'm going. Text me.
Now you can stand. For a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the Westfield Leader, advertised on January 9, 2014. Notification was sent to the Star Ledger and prominently posted on the Municipal Public Bulletin Board and filed in the office of the municipal clerk, informing the public of the time and place according to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. At this time, just a reminder to please turn off your cell phones, BlackBerry, or put them on vibrate, and if you must take a message, please do so out to call, it's distracting to others. Roll call, please, Ms. Ariano.
Mayor Shockey.
Here.
Council President Palmer. Here. Councilman Martin.
Here.
Councilman Matthew.
Here.
Councilman Mearsheimer.
Here.
Councilman Petrozelli.
Here.
And Councilman Fisco.
Here.
Thank you. Minutes, please, Ms. Ariano.
Regular meeting of the Mayor and Council held on April 22nd, 2014, and workshop session of the Mayor and Council held on April 22nd, 2014.
Are there any corrections or changes? May I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented, Mayor.
May I have a second? Second. Ms. Ariano, communications, please.
New Jersey State League of Municipalities Mayor's Tax Advisory,
Received and filed.
Comcast, changes to outside electric services.
Received and filed.
Governor Frank Sperry Jr.,
Received and filed.
Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce, opening of Mountain River.
Received and filed.
Okay,
We better.
all right. Okay, recap and surplus study and suggestions.
Received and filed.
Township of Union resolution.
Received and filed.
Board of City Authority minutes.
Received and filed.
Public planning board minutes.
Received and filed. There are no ordinances this evening, so we will move right along to the committee reports. Police, Councilman Martin.
No report.
Public Health, Councilwoman Jibisco.
No report, Mayor. Meeting next month.
Streets and roads and college, Councilman Mearsheimer.
I'm sorry, Mayor, I do have a report. First off, good news, the truck is here. I said I would not use those would not use the word new truck again until we have it. It is down at the city yard. I do have a picture of it. I did send it out. If you want, we can actually post it. It is not yet used because it's waiting for registration. but it's a massive vehicle, and so it should be quite useful and helpful. Very quickly, DPW is immersed in the grass and brush pickup right now. They ask residents to be reminded to review the grass schedules and not to confuse the garbage, grass, and the recycling days of putting out the containers. DPW has hired 3 seasonal employees and is moving forward with all the spring, summer work. They just cleared and striped the parking spaces at JFK parking lot. I'm assuming that's in anticipation of the preparation for the commuter parking. They are still working on potholes, in particular North Avenue in Walnut and Maple and North. They are not completed. Those are the largest ones left. They are still patching. If residents do know of other areas that they have not yet addressed, you certainly contact the yard to bring the complaint to them. DPW will once again obtain a truckload of wood chips. Actually, this Saturday will be dropped off for residents who wish to obtain free wood chips for their mulch for their gardens. That'll be at the yard at the end of Willow. And the committee is still discussing in detail privatizing garbage and reviewing our recycling options. And that's it for my report, Mayor.
Thank you very much. We have further report of street roads and ecology. Do I have a motion to accept?
Be received and spread across the fence.
Second?
Thank you. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Fire, Councilman Massey.
Thank you, Mayor. On the evening of Monday, May the 5th, the chief invited the fire committee to see the demonstration of a ladder truck with a 107-foot ladder and a 500-gallon pumper, manufactured by Ferrara Fire Apparatus Company of Louisiana. The ladder truck could be customized to include many different features, including a cab for 4 or 6 firefighters, myriad different compartments for all sorts of rescue and firefighting equipment, and they could even make a specific truck height so it could fit into our firehouse. The ladder truck would allow the Garwood Fire Department to reach the tops of all existing buildings within Garwood, plus any currently planned development. In addition, it would allow the Garwood Fire Department to respond more efficiently to fire calls with less volunteers. The estimated cost of the model we viewed was $829,000, to give you an idea. Ferrara supplies fire trucks to the New York Fire Department, and as a result has a servicing location in Teterboro, to which we would have access should we purchase a truck from this company. The chief is going to write for a grant for a ladder truck for the borough and plans to review the products of at least 2 other manufacturers and perhaps more. So this is at a very preliminary stage. I'll make sure everyone knows that. That brings up the topic of the ladder truck that we had obtained from the county. This is the one that the county used for training at its fire academy, and that Garwood had obtained an equipment sharing agreement with the county. There's an update on that. Recently, the fire truck was sent for needed repairs to bring it up to current standards necessary to put it into service. While being serviced and after $18,000 in repairs already paid for by the county, another approximately $20,000 in repairs were discovered. As a result, the county is considering whether or not it wants to spend this additional $26,000 needed to bring the ladder truck into service. Obviously, that decision will impact Garwood's ability to use the ladder truck. As the situation develops, the chief and the fire committee will update the mayor and council. So I just wanted to update people on that. I think none of us really thought that the truck was in service. Obviously, the chief had to train people on it. It is a truck from 1987, and basically the way that I understand it is the repair shop says you need X amount of repairs to bring this up to national fire guidelines, and in the process of that, discovered additional repairs. So it's not something that's really necessarily negotiable. And that's what it is. Obviously the county, it's their equipment. So they're making a decision like any of us would. Hey, we have a 1987 piece of equipment. We put X amount of dollars into it. How many more dollars are we going to put into it? So that's the state of play. And I just want to make sure everybody knew about that. And actually, and then let me just add on the regular fire report for that. In the month of April, there were a total of 17 incidents, including 5 mutual aid, for total man hours of 174 hours all total. And that's all from my report.
Thank you very much. Councilman, you have heard the report of fire. Do I have a motion to accept?
Be received and spread across the minutes?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments?
A question, Councilman Matthew, do we have any idea on when the county might make that decision?
No, but we'll find that
We'll
out.
just play it by ear, there's not, oh, we'll take, a couple weeks, we'll take a month,
No, the
a
chief,
really long time.
the chief emailed me today, to say that, I'm reviewing my report, basically to say it's still under consideration.
Okay,
So, but I will find it out, and I'll keep all
Right.
of you posted on that.
Okay.
Obviously, it's very important, it was a big win for us, and
Right.
it's just very disappointing.
exactly.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Second. Opposed? Finance, Councilwoman Fiscal.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a brief report now that all three entities that total the tax bill have submitted their numbers. On the average home assessed at $100,000, as we all know here, the municipal is up $39. The county is up $66 to us. And the school board has raised taxes on the average home $133. But I have a much more extensive report about the Board of Education since I'm their liaison, so I'll address that later. But those are the numbers that are in from the three governing bodies. That's all for my report.
Thank you. No further report of finance. Do I have a motion to accept?
Make that motion to be received and spread across the minutes.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Buildings and grounds, Councilman Fiscal.
No report, Mayor.
Laws and license, Council President Palmer.
No report, Mayor.
Recreation Commission, Councilman Fiscal.
No report, Mayor.
Committee on Aging, Council President Palmer.
No report, Mayor.
Library, I did not receive a report from the library. I was not able to make the meeting last week due to a personal health issue with my family. I came up suddenly. So, School Board Liaison, Councilwoman Tedisco.
Thank you, Mayor. I attended the last meeting of the Board of Education on April 29th, which also was its public hearing on the budget. This year's budget includes the addition of one full-time equivalent teacher, improvements to technology in part to meet the new state-required PARCC testing requirements. PARCC is basically replacing the NJASC and will require students to take the test on computers. But this is also beneficial to the student body as it's bringing in additional technology, and they're evaluating a couple different options of what technology exactly to bring in, what form of laptops, for example. Also, there is included an additional support of a half of full-time equivalent supervisor / teacher coach to assist with new teacher evaluation mandate. The board has also added back a third bus, which was a controversial issue last year. I know Council President Palmer reported on that when that was the major issue at the board meetings. There was little change to the state aid for the Board of Education, but they did receive about $10,000 in additional funds from the state, mainly because of the PARCC testing requirement that will take effect next year. Also, due to a new clause in the agreement with Clark, since Garwood will now pay its amount per pupil that it sends, which is about $10,000 per student, they actually were able to pay, the tuition was reduced by about $400,000. So that was a huge win at the Board of Education Finance meeting. The current expense budget is at an increase of $142,000 or 2%, so they have that right at the cap. Debt service is added on top of this for a total net increase of $133 for the average home assessed at $100,000. And during the public comment portion, I was also able to find out that the school has about $70,000 for this new technology that I've just discussed. The tech committee is investigating different options, as I said, such as Google Chromebooks. They also plan to launch an online grading system in September so that teachers can post grades online throughout the marking period, and then parents and students can sign in and see the grades on a more frequent basis as opposed to just receiving one progress report in the middle of the marking period, and then of course the report card at the marking period's end. So that's what I observed at the last Board of Education meeting. That's all for my report, Mayor.
Thank you very much. You have heard the report of school board liaison. Do I have a motion to accept?
Be received and spread across the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second. Can I just ask a question on that? Comments, yes. One of the reasons that they needed to change to pay per student instead of the original agreement that they had of where they paid a flat amount, is that because of all the students that they're now not sending to ALJ because so many students are going to the Union County VOTEC campus?
Right. Good question. Basically, it's my understanding it was something they negotiated last year with Clark. I don't know if that played a factor in the negotiating, but it may have, although that sounds like a lot of money to me, so I think it was just really their negotiating skills, but that may have played in.
They are losing students to that campus.
Right, that
So-
may have played a role, but I would have to ask them to find out from them exactly what was discussed at those negotiations.
I have a question. So they changed the way they were assessing us, and we saved $400,000, yes?
Correct, how Clark, well, yes, how Clark was assessing us in the sense of how much they were charging us, yes.
Okay. But the impact this year is $133, just the school portion of the tax alone, for assessed value of $100,000.
Correct.
How come we have this
Right.
big increase
Right.
if we save 400 grand?
Right, one would think that, absolutely, but again,
I mean, we're getting beat up for $39 they're at $133.
right, well, I mean, they have their reasons too. I mentioned a few of them that they highlighted at that meeting, that their business administrator, he actually presents the budget, and so the main highlights there were the addition of one full-time teacher equivalent is what they are. So when I asked, what grade level may they be teaching or what subject, they basically said they may be spread all over. So it's basically bringing them up to where they previously were staffing-wise, and also the addition of that half full-time equivalent teacher, coach, and supervisor. So those are some salary and increases. $70,000 for technology. Basically, technology as in maybe purchasing Google Chromebooks, laptops for the students, but also changing the wireless so that greater number of classrooms can have wireless access points. So that's a major change. And even though they're really doing it, I got the sense they were doing it next year because of the park testing coming in and really no choice other than to do it, but it was on their horizon to get done at some point. So that's what they said, but again, I'm just reporting what I observed,
Yeah.
of course.
I'm not
and-
shooting the messenger.
Right, so, but, and there were a couple of us there and, some residents voiced similar concerns.
If I may, Mayor, just since I addressed this I covered the meeting and I was asked a similar question to the business administrator. The biggest reason for the costs going up was was a reduction in revenue from previous fund balances.
Wow.
It was a revenue issue, not necessarily a cost issue.
I don't want to beat up on you too much, but you're kind of speaking out of turn.
I was just trying to.
Thank you.
But, yes,
I was germane, I thought.
I mean, well, it is true though, it's a spending side as well as a revenue side, and just some decisions that that finance committee made in regards to, for example, one matter that they had a decision about that they discussed was from the school project when that was built, there was about $1 million in funds, right? That was about $1 million or a little less. Don't remember. Well, anyway, about $1 million, and basically that was to soften the tax impact for years to come, and it's gotten to the point where now they have about 180,000 of that left. So they made the decision to use 90 now, so that 90 can be used next year to offset that impact. So that was a decision the finance committee made on their part that the business administrator shared with us.
So the bottom line is that we're the Garwood resident, I mean, I'm not shooting the messenger, I'm not doing anything but trying to figure this out. So we're whacking the Garwood taxpayers for 133 plus ours plus whatever, what was the county?
County 66.
66.
Right.
238.
That's
Per
a lot.
assessed 100,000, that's a lot of money. That's a lot, you know what?
Mhm.
Just remember, we control $39 of that, so.
And that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Motion's been made, and seconded, we've had comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Celebration of public events and holidays liaison, Councilman Martin.
No report, Mayor.
Union County Air Traffic Noise Advisory Board, Councilman Matthew.
No report, Mayor.
Athletic Field Complex Project Committee Representative, Councilman Peccadelli.
Thank you, Mayor. The monthly construction meeting is held May 7th at Borough Hall. In attendance were Mayor Quattrocchi, Borough Engineer, professionals for the project, and planning and construction. The siding is 90% completed. The decking is 90% completed as well. The roofing has begun to be installed, and the storage building is about 80% complete. The HVAC is about 80% complete as well as the plumbing rough. The updated plans for the electric service were returned back to the contractor from the Cranford Building Department. They have been approved, and the artificial turf has been installed as well. And the natural turf baseball field irrigation system is complete, and the surface is being prepared for the sod, and the infield mix was also brought in as of today. And they should begin making plans for preparation to start planting trees around the site. Also in discussion that we had back on May 7th was adding an organic material to the sand capping to the property to properly grow plants and trees. The contractor is still on schedule for the completion to be early July. I know that there have been some rumors spread out there for sometime in August. I don't know where that came from. I got a few calls on that, but when I asked him face to face at the meeting, he said that he still is on schedule. He said that the course of events may change to the schedule that he actually submitted, but the end date is still the same. That's all for my report.
Thank you very much. You have heard the report of the Athletic Field Complex Project Committee Representative. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept, spread across minutes.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Officers report, Ms. Ariano, please review officers report.
Tax collector, agricultural tax. Monthly report for April 2014, treasurer receipt of outstanding funds, quarterly report for the first quarter of 2014. Zoning code enforcement officer, Lenny Easttown, monthly report for April 2014. Oh, sorry, I'm on the page. Municipal court administrator, monthly rating, monthly report for April 2014.
May I have a motion to accept the officers report as presented?
I'll make a motion to accept the officers' reports as presented, Mayor.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we'll move on to public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the mayor and council? Please step to the microphone, state your full name and address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. It would be greatly appreciated. Since I've seen no one stepping forward, we will close the public comment portion of the meeting and move on to the consent agenda. Are there any resolutions anyone wants to leave from the consent agenda? May I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda as is?
I'll make a motion to adopt the consent agenda as is, Mayor.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please, Ms. Ariano.
I just did the bills.
Tax bill, still a tax bill.
Chip over
Yeah, he's not happy about
There
it.
we go.
So by the time I get there,
Actually, Bill, actually, he said, here's this supposed to be.
All right, we're back up. Motion was made by Council President Plummer. Mayor Sutton. Roll call, please.
Council President Palmer. Aye. Councilman Martin.
Aye.
Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Yurcheck.
Yes.
Councilman Petruselli.
Aye.
And Councilman Fisco.
Aye.
So we're no resolutions deleted from the consent agenda. We'll move on to
No,
new
there is
business.
one that you guys can delete that I didn't present yet. I have a resolution deleted from the consent agenda.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do. Can I read it now?
Yes, you do.
Resolution 14203 be resolved by the Council of Borough Authority that Christina Maria, Borough Administrator, Clerk of Borough Authority, be and hereby authorized to sign the ADA document G 714-2007 construction change directive as provided in section 733 of ADA document A 201-2007 as presented and endorsed by the Mitchell Group and Flanagan's Contracting Group Incorporated. That's it.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Is it appropriate to just say that, I feel for the benefit of the public, this is action being taken after our
Yes,
executive session?
yes.
It's not that we didn't have discussion, it's, I don't know. if
This
we
is
feel
just
it's-
authorizing the clerk to sign a directive. Okay. We have a motion and a second, and we have a roll call, please.
Council President Palmer. Aye. Councilman Martin.
Aye.
Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Yurcheck.
Yes.
Councilman Petruselli.
Aye.
And Councilman Fisco.
Aye.
Is there any new business that the mayor and council may have?
No, Mayor?
Close new business? We have two proclamations today, one is for Arbor Day, April 25th, 2014, and another one I signed on Air Quality Awareness Week, April 28th to May 2nd, 2014. Payment of claims, Ms. Ariano, please bring the payment of claims resolution.
Be resolved, the following claims as approved, be the same are hereby ordered paid and properly signed and verified. And the payment of payrolls as listed is hereby confirmed and ratified.
May I have a motion to adopt payment of claims?
I'll make a motion to adopt the payment of claims, Mayor.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please, Ms. Ariano.
Council President Palmer. Aye. Councilman Martin. Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Yurcheck.
Yes.
Councilman Petruselli.
Aye.
And Councilman Fisco.
Aye.
The mayor and council will hold a special meeting on Tuesday, May 20th, 2014, at 7:00 p.m. in council chambers of the municipal building. The purpose of the meeting is to conduct our students in government night. No action will be taken. The regular meeting of the mayor and council will be held on Tuesday, May 27th, 2014, in council chambers at 7:15. Workshop session will start at 7. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Mayor.
May I have a second?
That's as quick as you move along.